trade deal between Canada and the U.S. is dead. What it means here in Saskatchewan. Remembering a girl gone too soon, how loved ones are honoring the life of Baeleigh Maurice. And a special celebration marking 150 years of Treaty 6.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the breakdown in talks between Canada and the U.S. Donald Trump threatening to punish some Canadian industries with more tariffs. Analysts say overall Saskatchewan won't be hit as hard as others, but as Wayne Mantika tells us, the sectors that are impacted will feel the pinch.
Saskatchewan produces more honey per capita than any other province. The over 100 beekeepers relied on the American market for 15 to 20% of sales. That will be wiped out by the 50% Trump tariff.
It'll be going to places like Europe and Southeast Asia and trying to develop those markets out. But that's not an immediate short-term solution that we can go to them tomorrow and all of a sudden have them accepting Canadian honey.
Some analysts believe the province may not be as hard hit by tariffs as some other provinces.
Saskatchewan's reasonably insulated. Like if there's a tariff on agricultural machinery parts or one thing that's come up, so there'll be some targeted stuff. The kind of back of the envelope stuff I've seen from economists say we will be the most insulated. Ontario or BC will be the hardest hit because of auto and forestry.
The Prime Minister has pledged that Canada will match American tariffs dollar for dollar. Ralph Goodale is a member of the Prime Minister's Advisory Committee on Canada-US relations.
The Canadian response has to be carefully thought through, carefully calibrated to make sure that we're having the maximum impact economically and politically in the United States with the minimum blowback in Canada.
Saskatchewan business hopes the tariff dispute can be resolved soon.
What matters most right now to not only local but all businesses is a strategic response from our federal government and a pathway back to the table to ultimately land on a deal that provides predictability, stability, and a fair deal.
Among larger Saskatchewan industries impacted could be forestry and steelmaking, all forced to adapt to what could be a long-term shift in Canada-US trade relations. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
American alcohol on Canadian store shelves has been a source of tension in the trade talks. While Saskatchewan resumed selling liquor from the U.S. a few months ago, the issue is being reassessed in the province. Hallie Mandrick has the story.
Following the most recent round of tariffs imposed by the United States, pulling American liquor from the shelves has once again become a topic of debate among provincial leaders.
So that will be one, I think, of many discussions that we have here in our province of Saskatchewan.
With the 50% tariff now impacting many Canadian goods, most provinces have taken American liquor off the shelves, and the provincial NDP is calling on the Saskatchewan government to follow suit.
And Scott Moe's still helping American producers sell their products here in Saskatchewan, and it just doesn't make any sense. It's time to fight back. American liquor should be removed from the shelves today.
One expert says, in comparison to other goods hit by the tariffs, liquor sales have less of an impact.
By itself, it's rather insignificant compared to energy and minerals and resources and so the vehicles and finished goods.
But Willoughby says the discourse surrounding this particular product is likely about more than its dollar value.
Because of its perception, because of its usage, because of its now becoming an influence point, a trigger point for a lot of these continued debates, to me, that's why it needs to be explored.
According to the opposition, this topic boils down to standing in solidarity with the rest of the country.
Whether the Saskatchewanian is a consumer of the alcohol, we want them to recognize and feel proud of the fact that we're standing together with all of Canada.
Saskatchewan has previously pulled American liquor from the shelves, but Moe says this time around might require a different course of action.
If it had worked, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in. So nothing that we have done today has worked. There's been different avenues, different approaches, and we are in a new environment now. We in this province of Saskatchewan, but also we collectively as 10 provinces and 3 territories.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Another blast of rain today, but temperatures are going to climb again.
They are. Today was the cool day. We anticipated this. We talked about it on Friday. That Sunday into Monday was going to be unsettled. The possibility of showers and thunderstorms was certainly there, and that's what we've got. But this low pressure area you can see cycling around this way in central Saskatchewan. It's going to continue to make its way into Manitoba, ultimately northern Ontario. And in its wake, things will be a bit windy at times, but for the most part, we are going to see the impact of that big high pressure dome down in the U.S., that heat dome in the U.S. impacting our temperatures. They're going to be going up, 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 up. Well, maybe just one less up.
A 9-year-old girl killed at a Saskatoon crosswalk is being honored. A memorial bench has been set up. And as CTV's Laura Woodward reports, it's more than a place to sit.
The memory of Baeleigh Maurice remains part of the playground she once loved. This bench has been installed at Mayfair Community School, a place to sit, reflect, and watch new memories unfold.
This was where she went to school, and it is an honor that it's placed here. The importance of this bench is to come here and remember her, not just as the accident that happened, like the tragedy that happened, but as a beautiful little girl who touched the hearts of so many people.
Baeleigh was 9 years old when she was hit and killed while crossing 33rd Street West on her scooter in September 2021. Taylor Kennedy was charged with impaired driving causing death, but the charge was stayed after the case took too long to get to trial.
When family is missing her, they can come here and sit and pray and watch their little ones as they make new memories at this park.
Pasqua First Nation jumped at the opportunity to help. Its company, Pro Metal Industries, crafted the bench.
It's important for us to support the citizens of Pasqua First Nation as best we can, whatever we can.
And with back to school around the corner, Baleigh's family is reminding drivers to take extra caution and be mindful of student pedestrians.
Any child should be able to walk to school in this city safely.
Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
It's been months since a financial audit at the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations called years of spending into question. As Keenan Sorokon reports, the federal minister wants to make sure chiefs across the province are in the know as she waits for the FSIN to break its silence.
More than 5 months after a forensic audit called for nearly $29 million to be repaid, the federal government has yet to hear from the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations.
Information was provided. We are waiting for that next step of response.
In March, Indigenous Services Canada sent a letter to the FSIN outlining close to $29 million of ineligible or unsupported spending over a 5-year period. In an interview with CTV the following month, Golmasti said this can't go unanswered forever.
I'm trying to hold that space, but this is not a space with unlimited time.
Golmasti is being tight-lipped about the audit and what happens next. She says the FSIN is ultimately accountable to the 74 nations it represents.
I'm not going to answer further questions until we're able to really get clarity on what is going to be the next step forward and how chiefs are going to take their decisions.
In 2013, the federal government introduced the First Nations Financial Transparency Act, which required annual audited financial statements to be publicly disclosed. 2 years later, the act was no longer being enforced as Ottawa looked to work alongside First Nations. Golmasti says she has no intentions of reinforcing the policy.
Ensuring that the accountability between leadership and their community members is defined.
CTV News reached out to the FSIN for comment but did not get a response.
Everybody who's in a leadership role, this is part of your mantra. You're not just being voted into a role. Your role is to make decisions and to support the community.
The FSIN originally had until April 2nd to respond to the audit, and now it's anyone's guess when any formal response or resolution could happen. Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
It's been 150 years since Treaty 6 was signed at Fort Carlton. First Nations leaders, dignitaries, and community members spent the last 4 days gathered to reflect on the treaty's history and its continuing role today. CTV's Stacey Hine was at the commemoration and brings us the story.
150 years after Treaty 6 was signed at Fort Carlton, people were back at the site to mark the milestone. For 89-year-old Mary Victorine Lafond, it was a return to a familiar place. 50 years ago, she was here for the 100th anniversary of Treaty 6. This time, she's back with her daughter.
Very emotional. It's quite heartbreaking, but it's also been empowering.
Diane Lafond is the First Nations Health Ombudsman. She said First Nations continue to advocate for their treaty rights and that more needs to be done to improve health care for Indigenous communities.
We need a healthcare system that's going to acknowledge our traditional health and our traditional medicines,
The responsibilities that come with Treaty 6 were also part of the conversation at Fort Carlton.
Today is not simply about remembering history. It is about recognizing that Treaty 6 is a living, enduring document. It speaks to the relationship between First Nations and Canada that guides that relationship.
Governor General Louise Arbour represented the Crown and said honoring the treaty means continuing to build trust for the future.
More than ever, our collective well-being depends on the trust that we place on one another. Today marks our commitment to keeping that trust alive.
Premier Scott Moe also spoke about the responsibilities that come with the treaty and the importance of working together for future generations.
We should talk and we should move forward together. We won't always agree. However, if we continue to talk and we can set our differences aside, we can truly build something that's better for tomorrow, for our children, for the next generation.
A new monument is also being installed at the historic site. The 50-foot steel teepee is a joint project between Treaty 6 First Nations and the province.
I think it's very important to have a monument. It's something that's going to be there for a long time for our future generations to see.
While this event wraps up, Treaty 6 commemoration continues next month at Fort Pitt, another site where the treaty was negotiated and signed. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Fort Carlton.
An 8-year-old boy has died following what RCMP are calling a water-related emergency near Regina late last week. RCMP were called to Regina Beach just before 4 o'clock Friday afternoon. Officers and paramedics responded to the area where the child was found in the water and declared dead at the scene. The Saskatchewan Coroner's Service has taken over the sudden death investigation. RCMP say there is no evidence of a crime in the boy's death, so no further details will be released. One person was sent to hospital after being shot in Prince Albert. It happened just after 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon in the 900 block of 13th Street West. Police believe the victim had been shot with a shotgun. Police are asking for help in identifying 2 suspects. The victim's injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. RCMP in Pelican Narrows have arrested a suspect in relation to a homicide in Sandy Bay. Last Sunday morning, RCMP found 19-year-old Silvino Grenier dead in a home. They issued a warrant for 23-year-old Chastity Charlotte Rose Clark. She was known to visit Prince Albert, Pelican Narrows, Sandy Bay, and South End. On Friday, police arrested her in Pelican Narrows. She was scheduled to appear in provincial court today, charged with manslaughter. Dozens gathered at a Saskatoon high school Saturday to try adapted sports and learn about opportunities to stay active. 12 stations showcased adaptive sports from wheelchair basketball to wheelchair obstacle course, goalball, and adaptive soccer. The event was in partnership with the Saskatchewan Wheelchair Sports Association and Special Olympics Saskatchewan and Development Pediatric Physical Therapy. One organizer said there were about 80 participants and about 5 families had already expressed interest in signing up for wheelchair basketball after taking part in the event.
We wanted to give opportunity to show all abilities how to move and make sure that they're aware of opportunities, a way to stay physical, and just have fun with their community.
Sari says more information is available on the Saskatchewan Wheelchair Sports Association's website. Still to come, we hear from the Prime Minister on the breakdown in trade talks, also what it means south of the border as voters prepare to make their mark. You're watching CTV News Live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us. Back to the trade breakdown with a new threat from Donald Trump. Starting January 1st, 50% tariffs will be slapped on cars, trucks, auto parts, and steel. It came after Mark Carney said Canada would match U.S. tariffs dollar for dollar. CTV's Michael Couture on how the Prime Minister and the Premiers responded to this latest volley.
At the White House, President Donald Trump said nothing about the collapsed trade negotiations, instead doing his talking on social media. Repeating a claim that the U.S. doesn't need Canada, Trump also threatened to increase tariffs on the auto and steel sectors to 50% starting January 1st.
There is a mutually beneficial deal possible here.
While trying to remain hopeful, Prime Minister Mark Carney pushed back on any suggestion that Canada can't survive without the Americans.
An attitude at the negotiation table that Canada is a subsidiary of the United States. The Canadian industry is going to be disadvantaged relative to American industry. That's not something we're going to accept.
While Carney chose his words carefully, Ontario Premier Doug Ford went after Trump on radio.
Well, he can kiss my ass as far as I'm concerned. We're going to go at him full steam.
That comment may have teed off Trump, who responded online with another post, calling Carney governor and Ford a flunky for the Prime Minister.
You know, your own people, President Trump, don't even like you. And they're going to speak loud and clear when it comes to the midterms. And if I was allowed to, I'd be down there door knocking.
Ford also floated the idea of export taxes on products the U.S. needs, like energy, potash, and critical minerals. It's something premiers and the Prime Minister have been hesitant to consider, but in French, Carney said all options are on the table. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is calling for the text of the failed deal to be made public.
Canadians need to know what it is that we are rejecting. My view is that we need to fight for tariff-free trade.
The Prime Minister has threatened dollar-for-dollar counter tariffs on the U.S. starting the day after Labor Day. Details of what Canada will target are expected Tuesday morning. We're also anticipating to hear about government relief measures for workers and businesses affected by American tariffs. Michael Couture, CTV News, Ottawa.
The U.S. is blaming Canada for the collapse of talks, saying Ottawa wanted more than the Americans could give. It's pushing that agenda to the American public at a crucial political time, the U.S. midterms. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports from Washington.
They were offered quite a good deal. They chose to reject it.
They came in with a bunch of unreasonable last-minute demands. I frankly thought we had a deal.
Simply, they wanted more.
One by one, members of the Trump administration blame Canada for leaving a so-called good deal on the table, suggesting the Prime Minister walked away for his own political gain.
It certainly doesn't make economic sense, but perhaps for political reasons. They have some by-elections coming up. I don't know, but they came in and they wanted more, and we weren't prepared to do that.
A former senior White House trade advisor acknowledges there are completely different narratives on each side of the border, with the U.S. not calling this a trade war, but a stalemate.
And at the very last moment, Prime Minister Carney made the political call to pull out. I think there's a lot of suspicion that it had very little to do with the substance of what was actually being negotiated and a lot to do with domestic politics back at home.
While the vice president treads on a familiar offensive trope.
Canada is a state. Sorry, Freudian slip. That was actually an accident. Canada is a country that has underinvested in its military that quite literally would get invaded by a foreign country were it not for the umbrella of protection provided by the United States of America.
But other political watchers point out it's the Republicans who stand to suffer politically as the clock draws out.
These policies are not helping the American economy. And I think as school returns and we get back into September, the dialogue related to the midterm elections will put a lot of pressure on the cost of living challenges the Republicans are bringing on Americans.
A number of trade experts believe talks could resume later this fall after a cooling off. The vice president himself categorized negotiations as still ongoing. Again, very different messaging from the Canadian side. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Washington.
Rain over the weekend was welcome for areas of BC battling wildfires. 11,000 lightning strikes were recorded across BC over the weekend, and about 60 new blazes erupted in a 24-hour stretch. But the storm also brought significant rain, helping to control the fires. 75% of the new fires are now held under control or out. There are more than 180 wildfires burning in BC, around 35% of them out of control. There were 125 on Friday. In Nevada, crews are trying to stop a fast-moving wildfire from spreading to homes in Reno. 90,000 residents have fled out of control blaze area that mushroomed over the weekend. Some homes have already burned, and there's concern shifting winds could push the flames into densely packed neighborhoods. The governor has declared a state of emergency in the county and mobilized the National Guard to help. 6 people have been injured since the 60-square-kilometer blaze began on Saturday. There have been more than 50,000 wildfires in the U.S. so far. WestJet flight attendants have voted overwhelmingly in favor of ratifying a new contract with the airline. The vote, which wrapped up this afternoon, saw 90% of members cast a ballot in favor of the deal. The agreement includes a more than 18% pay hike over 3 years and compensation for work done on the ground. Nearly 4,400 flight attendants went on a strike for a day earlier this month, prompting more than 900 flight cancellations. The new deal will run until the end of 2028. The U.S. is warning every country that does business with Iran to sever those financial ties or face retaliation.
These measures broaden secondary sanctions risk for anyone foolish enough to continue conducting business with this regime and will accelerate the speed with which we pursue them.
The U.S. Treasury Secretary warned countries there is a set deadline to stop activities opposed by Washington or face action. Scott Bessent calls the measures, quote, the single greatest financial offensive ever against an adversary. The move is part of a shift in strategy using economic pressure to try and break the deadlock with Tehran, but the U.S. is still not ruling out military force. All right, Jeff, a rainy and gray day today, but sunshine ahead.
Sunshine ahead and warmer temperatures. We had a fairly warm weekend and a cool Monday. We had anticipated that. But now as we make our way into the rest of the week, particularly Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, yes, we're going to see some really warm temperatures. We'll have more on those numbers later on. Let's take a look at our numbers at the moment. Right now in Saskatoon, 19 degrees, the same in Prince Albert, 18 in the Battlefords. All 3 locations dealing with cloudy or mainly cloudy conditions and decidedly windier in the Battlefords and Saskatoon than it is right now in Prince Albert. It might pick up a little bit more in PA. 20 degrees was the high for Saskatoon today. That's 4 degrees below the seasonal average of 24. The record warm temperature, a tie for that honor, 35 degrees shared by 1894 and 1920. The record cold temperature, a chilly 2 degrees in 1934. The sun came up 5 minutes after 6. It's going to go down in 12 minutes after 8.
Coming up, butterfly boom. A look at what's returning to Saskatchewan and the researchers tracking the journey.
Saskatchewan is entering a major growth cycle, according to experts. Tuesday on Your Morning, why Saskatchewan may be uniquely positioned to lead practical AI adoption.
Time to take a look through the live lens of Skycam. Sort of a mixture of clouds and sky and a little bit of blue sky there. So it hasn't been a horrible day. We had some rain, obviously, earlier today, but then things starting to clear up, and it looks like that is going to continue. Here's that low pressure area that I've been pointing out. This, counterclockwise rotation around the low. That low is going to continue to slide across into Manitoba, ultimately parts of northern and western Ontario. And then that big old heat dome that's anchored down in New Mexico, it's going to continue to impact the prairie provinces, in particular the prairie provinces, but other parts of the country will be affected as well. 19 degrees in Saskatoon and Prince Albert, 18 in the Battleford. On to our hot spot. Well, it's an interesting blend here because we have Val-Marie as the hot and the low spot, but it's also joined by a couple of E-towns, Estevan and East End. Estevan on the hot side of things, East End on the cold side of things. Around the province we go, starting off with the larger communities. It's 18 degrees right now in Lloydminster. Worcester 22 in Swift Current, and Regina 24 in Moose Jaw, 19 in Yorkton, and 26 in Estevan. So Estevan, one of those places that hasn't seen much in the way of rain. Other places in the high teens. It's been a bit of a cool down because of some precipitation. In central parts of the province, fairly tight grouping of temperatures, just a 4-degree range here from 16 in Meadow Lake up to 20 in Nipawin and Hudson Bay. It's 19 in Kindersley, 18 in Watrous and Wynyard. Up north, well, it warms up quite nicely. Stony Rapids at 24. It's 20 in Buffalo Narrows, 19 in La Ronge, 23 though in Sandy Bay, Island Falls. And making our way into southern Saskatchewan, temperatures of 17 on the cool side. That's in Elbow, but it does warm up to 25 in 25 in both Yorkton and Weyburn, but it's 26 in Carlisle. So there you go. On to our futurecast. Well, the computer modeling indicating what I was mentioning earlier on, that bullseye of the low continues to slide into Ontario by the time we get to tomorrow at this time of day. In behind it, earlier on, we're going to have some windy conditions, but as we make our way into the afternoon and early evening, we expect it to back off a little bit. As you can see, we still have some severe thunderstorm watch boxes in effect for parts of northeastern Saskatchewan, and so we'll keep our eye on that as well to see if anything develops. Cloudy or mainly cloudy skies for much of northern Saskatchewan. A bit more sunshine in Buffalo Narrows, but temperatures in the high teens, low 20s. Temperatures in and around that 24, 25 degree mark for west central Saskatchewan under sunny or mainly sunny skies. Lots of sunshine and hot temperatures in southern Saskatchewan. Temperatures in the high 20s for tomorrow. Similar temperature pattern. Well, I guess not. Just a little cooler, but still nicely in the mid-20s for much of southeastern Saskatchewan with a mix of sky conditions. And east central Saskatchewan, temperatures of 23 or 24 degrees abound with mainly cloudy skies in Hudson Bay, Humboldt, and Melfort. Mainly sunny skies in Watrous. The Battlefords tonight dropping down to 10 degrees as the showers taper off. There's still a risk of a thunderstorm. Mainly cloudy skies on Tuesday. And then we've got ourselves temperatures of warming up to 30 degrees by Thursday and staying warm on Friday. A little cooler on Saturday. Sunday, a chance of showers and a 21-degree high on that date. Showers tapering off in Prince Albert as well with the risk of a thunderstorm. Mainly cloudy skies and 24 for that city as well. But warming up to 28 on Thursday, 27 on Friday. For Saturday, not bad at 24, but a cool down on Sunday and Monday. A chance of showers both days and throwing in a risk of a thunderstorm on Monday. 12 degrees with windy conditions overnight for Saskatoon, but the showers do taper off. And then tomorrow, the wind backs off, 25 degrees, mainly sunny skies, and the 7-day outlook for Saskatoon looking not too bad. 30 degrees by Thursday, 28 on Friday. Saturday, still pretty nice, 24 degrees. Cools off a little bit on Sunday, but bounces back on Monday. We're getting a closer look into one of the most legendary Canadians. The trailer for the documentary Run, Terry, Run has dropped. It's a behind-the-scenes look at Terry Fox's 1980 Marathon of Hope. Fox began his marathon in April 1980, roughly 3 years after learning of his cancer diagnosis. It's in theaters October 9th, but will premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival on September 19th. At the time, the marathon had raised $24 million. But earlier this year, the Terry Fox Foundation announced it had surpassed $1 billion funds raised for cancer research.
You're not going to get away with this.
But he might.
Spider-Man Brand New Day has topped the box office for a 4th weekend in a row. The film drew an additional $39 million at this weekend at the box office, taking the number 6 spot of all-time releases at the worldwide box office. Sony Pictures also claimed the 2nd spot at the domestic box office this weekend with the newly released horror sequel Insidious Out of the Further, pulling in $25.3 million. The Odyssey held on to the 3rd spot with an estimated $19.5 million during its 6th weekend of release. The child star of Baby Shark, YouTube's most viewed video, now with over 17 billion streams, is 17 years old now, and he's making his solo K-pop debut under the creative name Baby Shark Boy. His new song opens with the original song's familiar melody before switching tunes to electric pop.
How long did it take you to get that song out of your head earlier today?
Not that long.
No.
No.
Well, we'll see about tonight.
I think there's a lot of parents out there. Yeah, forget it. It's the earworm that never goes away.
That is true. We're all hoping for a decent forecast for many reasons for the weekend, but something special is planned for the Riversdale area.
It sure is, and you better bring your appetite. That is one mean-looking tub. What is that all about? We are going to find out in mere seconds. We are happy to welcome Casey Mintzler. She is the event manager for Riversdale Bid, and there's a special event coming up very soon indeed. And I happen to like the title, but I'd rather you say it.
Forking Around in Riversdale.
So, Forking Around in Riversdale, I'm assuming the fork stands for something to do with food?
Absolutely, food and beverage. So we've got food trucks, we've got in-restaurant activations as well, and then there's going to be a beer garden as well. So lots of food, lots of beverage, lots of fun stuff around the district.
And I believe there's going to be music as well?
Yes, so we have a DJ. We also have some live performances by Shane Lazarovich for the CCMAs, doing a couple contests over here. And then we got a DJ, and then Terry Hawkins is also performing. So we got lots of live music, lots of DJs, and then some house music going on throughout the day too.
And you say throughout the day because this is a one-day affair.
Yeah, one day only, 11 till 6 on August 29th.
Okay, so it's coming up August 29th. So that's this weekend, folks. Last weekend of August, and lots of things going on. The Fork It Around in Riversdale, but let's talk about this tub because there's going to be some other tubs out here. So what's that all about?
We are doing bathtub races for charity for the first time ever here for Forking Around in Riversdale. Teams of 4 can register, and then we're going to be doing heats throughout the day. It starts at 1 p.m. So the fee that you pay goes to the Crocus Cooperative. 50% of that goes there. And then we're also doing a Fill the Tub campaign to raise non-perishable food donations for the Saskatoon Food Bank. So we're going to be figure 8 races. We're doing the fastest team, the slowest team, and the best costume. So we highly recommend you come all dressed up with your sweet team, and you can still register online today.
All right, you can still register online today, and can I get more information about Forking Around in Riversdale as well?
Yes, go to riversdale.ca, and there's a Forking Around in Riversdale tab with everything there, the map, the information, the register links, everything. Yeah, so you can check it out there or go to Riversdale District on Instagram.
That sounds great. It's just fun to say.
It is, yeah. We're going to be forking around all over the place in here.
All right, Jeff, time for Pick of the Day, and we are going outside.
We sure are. Let's start with this one. We've got ourselves a nice picture. This comes to us from Charlotte. She sends us a lot of pictures, but we don't get to put them all up on the air. But Charlotte says, watching the beautiful sunset while fishing off our dock last Saturday. I take a lot of sunset pictures. This is my favorite for last weekend. I think it's up at Sled Lake, so a lovely shot there. Thanks, Charlotte. This one from Carolyn. I took this pic while fishing at Good Spirit Lake on Friday, August 21st. It's the first time I've ever had a dragonfly smile at me. That looks like it could be in a cartoon. Thank you, Carolyn. And finally from Joan, again, someone who contributes a number of things, but we were able to put this one up. Perfect night last night to go see Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan. The moon was shining bright and the prairie lily blew its horn on the way past. Beautiful weather. And thank you, Joan, for that. And by the way, yes, last night was closing night for Shakespeare on the Saskatchewan. They did Much Ado About Nothing and Julius Caesar this year. So certainly congratulations to the company on another successful season. And if you'd like to send a picture to us, you can do so by sending it to cfqcnews@ctv.ca. Please put Pick of the Day in the subject line. It helps us sort through all of our emails.
Still to come on CTV News, a return to our province. What's behind these monarchs making a comeback to Saskatchewan? Now to a summertime spectacle, monarch butterflies. They are making a comeback in Saskatchewan this year. CTV's Alison Bamford looks into what's behind the butterfly boom and what it means for the endangered species.
Tyler Flockhart studies monarch butterflies. He's fascinated by the resilience of something so fragile.
You have an insect that weighs as much as a quarter that can fly all the way from southern Canada all the way to Mexico and then back in the spring. It's pretty remarkable.
Monarch butterflies are an endangered species in Canada and not common on the prairies. But this year, the ecologist is seeing more than usual in Saskatoon, a sign that we could be in the midst of a butterfly boom.
We know that when monarchs are at fairly good numbers in the summer, they start showing up in places where you are in the western provinces.
People across the prairies are taking note, patiently capturing the tiny details of metamorphosis from caterpillar to chrysalis to butterfly. Experts say it's common for insect populations to fluctuate. Favorable weather conditions likely contributed to this year's numbers.
Over the long term, we're still in a state where the populations are considerably lower than what they had been.
Habitat loss, particularly the loss of milkweed plants, seems to be the main driver behind the declining population. Flockhart is now part of a larger group looking into the monarch's exact habitat locations, using these tiny tags to track where the monarchs go and when they go there. Information that he says could help in conservation.
Particularly for the prairie provinces, it gives us information to understand how important are the prairies to the monarch population as a whole.
Some monarchs have already started migrating. Flockhart hopes to begin tagging butterflies as soon as possible so their flights south can be tracked in real time. Allison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
When we come back, a look at the Riders' performance in BC and later celebrating Asian culture in Saskatoon.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Persons Living with AIDS Network of Saskatchewan is hosting its inaugural Teeing Up for Care charity golf tournament. It's set for Friday at Moon Lake Golf and Country Club. We Go is set for this coming Sunday and Monday at the Rainey Modern. It's a free annual festival of art for all ages. For details, please visit the website. You can submit your community event by visiting our website and clicking on Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen. All right, time to take a look at tomorrow's forecast for our rural areas, and things are looking warm. They're not hot, but seasonal or close to it or slightly above. 25 degrees for Meadow Lake and Lloydminster, 26 for Kindersley and Outlook, 24 for Watrous, 23 for Melfort and Spiritwood, 24 for Hudson Bay, and 23 for Wynyard. Making our way over to the southern parts of the province. As you can see, it gets a little warmer down the southwestern part of the province. 28 in Leader, 27 in Maple Creek and in Coronach. But a lot of other places in those low to mid-20s. So a fairly pleasant day shaping up across the province. Does that include Lipton? Yes, it does. Lipton just north of the Fort Capel area. Partly cloudy skies, 25 degrees, so pretty much seasonal temperatures, but a bit on the breezy side, particularly in the afternoon. It'll start to back off. But all in all, things are looking pretty good for Lipton on Tuesday. And that's where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
The Saskatoon Hilltops got back into the win column over the weekend.
The umbrellas. This time they fake the pitch outside. Deep down the sideline, it's Baeleigh, and he's got it. Touchdown, Hilltops.
The Hilltops' Luke Bednarik had 4 catches for 79 yards and a touchdown, while Griffin Sander passed for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns as the Hilltops beat the Calgary Colts 36-26. The win puts the Hilltops in a 3-way tie for second place with the Edmonton Wildcats and the Edmonton Huskies. The Hilltops are back on the road for a crucial matchup this weekend when they travel to Edmonton, which they lost to last week at SMF Fields. The Saskatchewan Roughriders have dropped back-to-back games for the first time this season after falling 30-16 in BC yesterday.
To the 23 of the Riders, Rourke with time again.
Trevor Harris threw 1 touchdown but 2 interceptions, while Nathan Rourke finished with 2 touchdowns and just 1 interception. The Riders took some costly penalties throughout the game that took points off the board, including a fumble recovery on a punt and an interception.
You know, we were on such a damn good trajectory early in the season. I think like 2 weeks ago, we were number 1 in the league in taking penalties. And now we've kind of put ourselves and shot ourselves in the foot. I think we had 7 or 8 tonight. Last week, I think we had 8. So we got to get back to doing it. But it's not just the yards of the penalty. It's how expensive they are, what it actually takes off the board for your team.
Yeah, just miscommunication type stuff that we'll always keep in house. I've got to make sure that I don't do that emotionally. But obviously, when you're invested like we are, you're going to have some emotions fly out. I was pissed off in the moment. Stuff that we've got to make sure that we talk about and make sure we hammer out and get better. And I promise you we will. The only thing guaranteed in pro football is adversity. And we got a little adversity here. And that's something that I think will be catalyst for us and allow us to find out who we are and who we want to be moving forward.
Now 6-4 on the season, the Riders are still second in the West. They'll host the 5-5 Toronto Argonauts at Mosaic Stadium on Saturday. Turning to local gas prices now, the average price in Saskatoon is currently $1.66.5 a litre. The lowest price in town is $1.53.9. On Saskatchewan markets, Cameco finished the day today at $1.41.60 and Nutrien dropped 84 cents. Coming up, a cultural celebration full of fun, festivities, and food. Then an unlikely friendship forms over the summer holidays.
Hey there, it's Derek Chesney here with the Saskatoon Crime Stoppers. This week on Crime Stoppers Unmasked, we're asking for the public's help in identifying numerous suspects involved in 2 break-and-enters in the city's south end. These 2 incidents took place on July 23rd and July 29th in the early morning hours at a restaurant in the 3000 block of Preston Avenue South. On both occasions, the suspects gained access to the restaurant by prying open the rear alley door. On July 23rd, 3 suspects took the establishment's safe, which contained $31,000, and carted it away in a yellow children's buggy attached to a bike. On the second incident, a few days later, 2 suspects this time took the cash register with $700 inside. At both incidents, the suspects' faces were covered and appeared to leave in different directions after exiting the building. Do you have information about this crime or who is responsible? If so, please give us a call at 1-800-222-8477, or you can leave a tip online at SaskatoonCrimeStoppers.com. We pay cash rewards of up to $2,000 for information that leads to an arrest. Tips are completely anonymous. We don't want your name, we just want your assistance. Saskatoon Crime Stoppers. Do your part to stop crime in our community.
Select Hair Service is brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here tonight on CTV starting at 7 with American Ninja Warrior. Well, Asian culture, food, and heritage was celebrated in Saskatoon over the weekend. The 3-day Rhythm and Roots Asian Festival featured live performances, food and market vendors, as well as community partners. The free event ran Thursday to Saturday at Prairieland Park. Now in its 2nd year, the festival is hosted by the Filipino-Canadian Association of Saskatchewan with the goal of bringing the energy of Asian night markets to Saskatoon.
The whole ethos behind Rhythm and Roots is to bring the culture, the food, dance, everything to do with Asian culture and exhibit it here today.
Rhythm and Roots is a great event for all of us Canadians who are living here in Saskatoon.
Asian heritage, I think sometimes we're such a small community that we're overlooked in Saskatoon, but we are here. We just want to spread our culture with everyone in Saskatoon.
Organizers say they were hoping to welcome upwards of 10,000 people to the event this year. It looks like they had some decent weather.
Yes, and 3 nights. Yeah. That's very impressive.
That is impressive. All right, well, a college grad made a rather unusual friendship.
I know you can jump. You did it last night. There you go.
That's Teddy the peacock. He was abandoned before being hatched. And he took a shine to Morgan Steppen, who was just visiting this North Dakota farm for the summer. Morgan found herself the unofficial caregiver when the baby peacock bonded with her and now rarely leaves her side. Word is that another egg is soon set to hatch. So we'll see if Teddy takes a liking to the new pen mate or will he just stay with Morgan? I don't know.
Well,
they
imprinted.
Look like the best of friends.
Yeah, I think, exactly.
Look at him go. He's cute. Look at him go.
And soon he'll get big and beautiful and noisy.
Yes, that's true. They'll be best friends forever, though.
I'm sure.
They will.
And at least that's the way it is in the Disney movie.
This is true. There's a book in the making there.
There is at least one book.
Yeah.
At least a book. Let's take a look at this, and there's at least we can say there's some decent weather coming our way. Mid-afternoon should be around 24 degrees, but a pretty decent day in store for Tuesday.
All right, that is our show. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.